Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Life's a Shuffle. This is Ron Johnson, your life leadership coach, health coach, personal trainer, and motivational speaker.
And this is Gloria, your life coach. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Life's a Shuffle. Today, we talk about going to college or starting a business. The question would be, should I go to college or should I not and just start my own business? Um, does it make sense to come out of college with a degree in something that you may never use? Or how about starting a business on something you've always been passionate about? Or how about use that degree if you've gone to college and use that degree to help you launch your business? Both options have advantages and disadvantages.
And that's certainly right. So I'm glad we're talking about the subject because in this situation, I didn't go to college, and I know Gloria did. So you always want to ask the question. Most people say, no, you always ask, as soon as you get to, let's say, and now it's almost like freshman year of high school, what college you going to go to? Did you submit your papers yet? Did you get accepted? By junior year in high school, you're already talking about what college you're going to, right? So it's a little bit different than when I grew up. But I would say this: being on both sides of the spectrum, starting a business was never my intention in mind. I would say that. I saw my dad run a business for so many years, and for him, I saw how hard he worked, and I saw what we had to put up with from employees, from stealing, you name it, it happened. And obviously, it became from a place where he wanted to give people chances in his business because he felt he wanted to give back. So let's say you get a convicted felon, which in this case could have been a relative, not someone we didn't know. And he needs a job, right? Because he has family. So we gave him a job. So I said to myself when I was 14, 15 years old, I do not want to start a business. And I put my foot in my mouth again because now you can't tell me not to run a business. I do not want to work for somebody. I cannot.
Mhm.
So here's the thing: is college is not for everyone,
Right.
and that's really the scenario it boils down to. If you really think about it, when you're sitting here thinking about college, are you going to college for yourself or for your parents? Are you going to college for yourself, your parents, or are you going there because you want to make a lot of money? It's one of those three factors that happen when you go to college. My dream in life was, when you think about stuff. So I always like tinker around with stuff when I was a kid, learn how to build things. I was one buying remote control cars back in the day in the 90s, and where you can buy the actual kit and you'll build it from scratch. So you buy the kit, you buy the chassis, you buy the tires, you actually build a remote control car. Then you have to buy the engine separate, you got to build the engine side of it. And I always wanted the bigger and the faster one. And I love working with my hands. So it's kind of ironic that I want to be an engineer. As time went along, I had kids at a very young age, and my dad did not push me to go to college. He didn't say all the time, let's go to college. He more or less pushed one attribute in life, which I will never forget. One is, it goes like this: son, I'm going to teach you how to be an adult because you're being an adult longer than a child. And now, when I was 15, 16, hearing this stuff, or 10 years old, it didn't make any sense, right? Because at 10 and 16, I'm thinking about hanging out with my friends, girls, football, popularity, and all that good stuff. 10 years old, I'm thinking about toys, action figures, and cartoons. Okay. So, that didn't make sense. But as an older man now, it all makes sense because I have to deal with more adult stuff than I have to do with childhood things. I'm not playing with action figures anymore. I'm not playing remote control cars anymore. I'm not the chasing girls anymore or worried
Mhm.
about the football team or popularity, right? So, it's funny how things like that happen. But don't get me wrong. I think going to college is one of those things that you got to find out what's your value. Like, what do you value in life? Do you value money? Do you value education? Do you value that you want to make an impact to the world? Those are the things you talk about. Because when you think about college, let's go back to my point about I didn't attend college because I had kids at a very young age. And from there, I just joined the workforce. Because when you have kids at a young age, you're not thinking about, okay, well, you know what? I have kids and I'm going to sit here and go to college for a couple of years or 2 or 3 years, whatever it is. Then I'm going to turn around and get a good job. You think and say, well, I have kids now. I gotta join the workforce. I gotta make money to support a family, right? Roof over your head, food in your stomach, all that good stuff. And thinking about it right now, I wish I'd attended college. Actually, I want to go back to college at this point right now. I do want to get a 4 year degree. But what's really not stopping me, but what's really kind of my plate is something else I want in life. So the idea for me to get a degree will be, so when you have something you're not good at, don't have something that will make you more powerful. Like if I had a degree, to me, in the back of my mind, which is not true, it's only true to me, that if I have a degree, it makes me more powerful. So if I have a degree, I have something. If I don't have a degree, I have nothing. So people challenge you, right? Or you didn't go to college, you're not really that worthy, and all that stuff like that, which we know that to be true. America, the world were built on people that were not really educated. Jesus didn't go to college, okay, but we know Jesus. Okay, I don't know if Mary went to college or not, but we know Mary. Dalai Lama, I don't know if he went to college or not, but we know these people, right?
Hmm.
And that's why so having a degree will only be so that way I have more tools in my toolkit as a suit of armor to protect myself. So if someone attacks something I don't have, I said, you didn't go to college. I thought, yes, I did. I have something. It would not be to follow my purpose in life. I wouldn't be in line with what I need to get done, right? And unfortunately, as you're an adult, you deal with the pressures as far as, you got to make money now. I got to have a living. I got to think about my kids for their future. My son must be a professional football player. So those things that I'm thinking about right now, and that pushes that more and more. But I'm still alive. I
Hmm.
can attend college at 50 years old. I can do it at 55. I can do it at 44. I'm not saying wait, but I'm saying I can do all those things. So, Glory, for you, you attended college. What's your take on that?
Um, let me. Okay, I went to college because it wasn't where I thought, like I really need to go to college because this is what I wanted to do. When I think back now, I think more of the reason why I really did it and I pursued it was for my mom. I wanted to give her something that she had asked for. It was just, just for her, it was like, it's a big thing for her, you know, because she never really finished college. And I don't know how much in her family on her side had actually gone through college, and if they did, they didn't finish, right? So for her, it's like that would be like a gift, like a dream for her if someone like me and the family will pursue college and finish it. And I think for the most part, when I did it for her. Was I enjoying college? Heck no. What was I enjoying about college the most was hanging out. I'm not gonna lie. This is a lot of people that had gone through college and have lived that college life. I think they will know what I'm talking about. Not that I wasn't in any sororities or anything, but it was just the hanging out part of it. And after, it was hard. It was tough. I gotta admit, there's been a few times where I wanted to quit. I didn't want to finish it anymore because I didn't think I could do it anymore. I was so done. I was so tired of it. I was drained. And like, I think I've mentioned this before that I ended up becoming a working student. So I was working full time and I was going to school, and I was going to school 6 days a week. Um, but deciding whether you should pursue a college degree can be difficult. Really can. I didn't know at that time, what did I want to do? What what type of degree did I want? What should I pursue? Um, so it's sometimes, if you have dreams of starting a business at a young age, if you already have that dream, then you might wonder if a college education could make you a better entrepreneur or not. But ultimately, not all industries require college right now, right? College education. So if you look at some of the wealthiest people in the business, like Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, right? They didn't receive a degree and still became successful. But there's also some founders of the companies who credit their college education for inspiring their passions and preparing them for the challenges that came with being a business owner. And this is why when I said there's disadvantages and advantages for both. A college degree is not required to start a business. If you wanted to start one, it's not necessarily required, but it does help, um, because college not only teaches students educational topics that can be helpful with starting a business, but also how to be a lifelong learners. Um, and many of the skills needed to start or run a business, you can't really learn that in school. The work ethic, the ability to sell and grow a business, that's your own. Um, Having graduated from a business school, I'm grateful for the quality of education that I've received. But what I can tell you right now is a lot of the skills to start my own business or to start my own practice um, wasn't learned in the classroom.
That's certainly true. So, to put light on something, so I would definitely want my doctor to go to college, right? I want my nurses to go to college. Because there's certain things you need to know about the human body, or we're talking about in general terms about just life. So let me shed some light on some numbers here. Right now, when I looked at the statistics, more people that are unemployed do not have a college degree, which is about 17.5%, right? Which number could change daily, it can change from last looked it up. That are unemployed that do not have a college education, 17%. People that are unemployed that have a college education is about 3.5% of people out there. Like I said, again, the numbers can change, but 3.5% of people that are unemployed have a college degree. Now, what degrees in and why can't they find a job? It didn't ask me in the stats, but I looked that up. There's one thing about college that I want to also point on is that, yes, you do leave college with debt, into which costs a lot of money. Uh, Equation to a higher education changes every day. So how 1 minute, a bachelor's degree in computer science was it. Next thing you know, you need a master's degree in computer science. Before you know it, you need a doctorate. So it's always changing. It's always evolving. And also one thing that Gloria talked about, how Mark Zuckerberg and these people that we know today did not attain a college education. What's good about that is that is one thing this, a lot of us throughout life set out to do some great things and we just do not accomplish those great things. When you obtain a college education, what's really good about that, you can look back and say to yourself, I accomplished something. And usually what happens when you accomplish something, get a 4-year degree, 6-year degree, whatever it is that you attain college, even a associate degree for 2 years, nursing degree for 2 years, you look back and said, I've done something. So what it does inherently, because you had to work those several years to obtain a higher education, it then helps you propel you in the rest of your life. So if you accomplish getting a 4-year degree or a 6-year degree or higher education, now the rest of the facets of your life should be the same way. Not always is it true, but isn't true in some cases. For my case, I didn't go back to college and I started the workforce, did not prohibit me of becoming a business owner. And what's great about being a business owner is one thing I always say is that I learned more about myself in the last 5 years being a business owner than I had my whole life by myself, right? Because when you do things on your own and being a business owner, in my case, I'm a sole entrepreneur, so I'm by myself. I have to push myself harder. I have to think outside the box. I have to conquer something that people don't ever see is your own um, fears, your own self doubt, your own misery, your own frustrations, right? So how you ask any business owner how everything's doing is great, but inherently inside we have our own fears, frustrations, and an uncertainty going on in our minds. And how do you conquer those, right? We're not really taught to deal with those. You know, people say, well, to get over uncertainty, think positive. To get over that, do this, and it doesn't work that way because there's a reason why you have those fears and doubts, and the reason why they do exist in your mind. But being a business owner on my own, I had to face those. So while most people put those in a box for later and back their closet, or in this case, back of your mind, as a business owner, I have to confront those. It may not be the same day, may not be the same week, but I have to confront those situations because the moment I keep in my head in that mental closet, less time I have for it to show up and deal with it because it won't go away. Also, one thing I learned about a business owner is characteristics I have as an individual. Everybody has different characteristics. Some people are great singers, some people are great basketball players, football players. Not everybody can be a basketball and football player or a musician. But I learned my own personal characteristics myself because I was forced to face things that I normally didn't face in daily life. When you're in school, in college, I remember my days back in high school. They never teach about fears. They wouldn't teach about uncertainty. It was just like, well, you get a good grade. These are possibilities for you, right? Which not always is a guarantee, right? Nothing in life is really guaranteed. But when I look back upon that, especially the last 5 years, is I had to confront those issues and deal with those situations. And what it did for me, it gave me the energy to keep moving forward because I know everything and anything I want in this world is possible. I'm not designed about what someone told me, or I'm not designed about what I think is right or wrong. I'm open to any possibilities that exist out there in the world because possibilities are endless. One minute someone says something is not possible, one minute it's possible. At one point in time in history, we thought the world was flat, couldn't find out it's round. So all these things are constantly changing, and that's why looking at two perspectives of going to college and being a business owner would be the biggest difference in your life. Like Gloria, if you can go back now and you
Mhm.
had a choice, knowing you have a choice, would you still complete your degree or would you start a business?
I think I would still complete my degree. It depends. So it all depends on the person and the discipline that you have in this. Can you do both? Yes, you can do both. At that time, what I've realized is, well, the degree that I got was in business and it's very broad. It wasn't just to one specific area, right? So again, it depends what you're going to school for. Because that's why nowadays, when you listen to others who has a degree on a specific area, um, it may be harder for them to find a job, or maybe not. But what I've decided on when before I went to college was I wanted it to be where it's broad, that I can get a job in different areas. So it wasn't just for one thing, and it would be easier for me. And that's how I made that decision. Um, I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't learn anything. I learned a lot. I really did, and it got me. I had a good career, obviously, after college, and even when I finished college, I landed a job at corporate, and that was very flexible. That allowed me to continue school, and finish school while I'm working for the company. I'm working for a corporate, and what I was learning at school, what I was doing, is something that I ended up doing at work. Obviously. Um, but because it was so broad, it was, if I had gotten laid off or if I lose that job, there's always something for me at that time. You know, does a college degree help you succeed in life? Yes. I'm not going to say it doesn't. It does. Um, the long there's different ways of looking at it. Why does it help you succeed in life? It's because there's a long term financial gain. Could be that job stability, career satisfaction, and maybe success outside of the workforce. And a lot of the companies also require advanced education. So it is something to be proud of. I was on the first maybe 3.5 years of college. I kept going. I know that where I felt it a lot was the last. It was maybe the last quarter of it, and it was so funny because I was down to my last quarter and I wanted to give up. I didn't think I was gonna I was gonna continue and finish. I think I was just so drained. But I learned obviously a lot from going to college, and I knew that I wanted to keep going and pursue it and get my degree because it was something to be proud of. It's something that I could be proud of. I know that later in life and to this days, I am proud of it, because then for me, I'm proud of the work that I put in, and earning that degree. Um, am I using some of those skills and education that I've learned in college? I'd say, yeah, I still am. A lot of it for me would be the discipline. Again, it's that the discipline is the biggest thing for me because it's if you don't have that, um, and that's where we say that college may not be for everybody, but you end up growing up and you end up having all this discipline of being responsible, and just kind of keep going and going and going and pursuing what you want in life. It took me about until I think the first year of college what I really wanted to do and what I really wanted to focus on. Because, in high school, I just said, okay, I'm going to go to college. but what am I really going to go to college for? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure at all. Some people would be already sure. They already know what they wanted to be. They already know what they wanted to pursue in college. I wasn't sure. But one thing I know for sure is I didn't want to be in the medical field that my mom wanted me to be. That was I was sure of. Um, so I ended up going to college, and then the first year is when I realized, okay, now I know what I wanted to do, and I this is what I'm going to pursue. And I wanted to pursue something in business.
But the skills you learn in your college education really helped you at least to hone in and accomplish things in life.
Yes.
And what's why I want to congratulate you on one thing is see how, a lot of times you get propelled by certain things in life. Oh, you need to go to college because you need to get a degree so you need to make more money. You had a conscious choice right then and there to say, you know what, my mom wants me to go to college and become a nurse. I don't want that. Because if you went to college and became a nurse, would you be happy?
Mm-mm.
So you went to college pursuing something else you wanted. Not saying that is your destiny. So you're not. I go to college, become an engineer. That's not your destiny. You can always change. You can always do something completely different. You can start a business, become an engineer, right? It happens all the time, especially in Silicon Valley. But you're able to change yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to do something more on purpose. Because if you had aligned yourself with what your mom wanted and went to nursing school to get your degree in nursing, it'd probably be 10 times a struggle for you than last quarter. It may be a 4 or 5 year struggle just trying to get this degree so you can become a nurse. At the end of the day, I really want to do it anyways. I don't like blood or something or what, whatever it could have came up, but that can happen. And the point of being is that start a business or go to college is about being in line with your values. If you value college and you want to become an astronaut, you want to become an engineer, you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, whatever your heart sets on, go after it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know right now I'm going to start a business. I want to be changing the world. You have options. See, the point about a business that I really, really enjoyed about doing is knowing that I have options. Now, is anything in life security? Like, can I get a 5 year degree today and say, okay, I'm going to be job security? No, nothing's secure. I mean, people right now are being furloughed just because, companies are being downsized, right? And they have college educations. There's one thing that I always laugh about when I think about Mark Zuckerberg or these people that didn't graduate school. The funny thing is, the people they hire have to have a college education. That's the funniest thing I ever think is that wait a minute, the owners didn't go to school and finish it, but I did, and so to work there, I had to have my degree ready.
And
I
that's
can't
yeah.
I
Go
can't say
ahead.
I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna work for you, Google. I'm gonna go to college later on while I work for you, and that doesn't work. But come with a degree, then I always find that kind of funny. But I mean, I guess you want to hire the best of the best. That's what it boils down to.
And that's interesting that you mentioned that because when I was an independent recruiter and I was recruiting for a startup company, and I was working for the CEO of the company, and I remember um, we're looking for a position, a VP, right? And it's funny because a lot of the resumes that were coming in, and that I was looking at, a lot of them have some type of like really high education, right? But every resume that I present, he was like, no, this is not it. This is not it. Not happy with it. What are you looking for? Right. So we had to narrow it down to what exactly is he looking for. And let me tell you something. A lot of those resumes that I remember looking at with all those higher education did not have the skills of what we were looking for the position that we wanted. So it was hard because you want someone with a high education and the skills, but you can't have both. So you have to make a choice. You want someone who doesn't have that high education you're looking for, but have all the skills that you're looking for.
Hmm.
It was very tough. And I remember that was so tiring. I was working 7 days a week for that guy. And it was like for months until we there was some transitionings in that company, and I didn't even know what happened. And when I was gone, they still didn't find anybody. But you know there are also companies out there that you know that doesn't necessarily require that you have to have a college degree, because a lot of them now have realized that what's more important are the skills. Can you do the job that we want you to do? I mean, you may have like a PhD or a master's degree in something, but can you do the job that we want you to do? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I have a friend who is has does not have a college degree at all, and he is, I would say, had became successful engineer at Apple, but he started from the bottom and worked his way up, and he's leading a team right now. Of I can't even remember how many, maybe 10, but he didn't have a college degree. So yeah, some would think that the better learning is when you're actually doing. What I mean by that is, you can read a book and sit in a class. So let me give you an example. An art, let's say art. You can read a book and sit in an art class to learn how to draw, right? But you're not going to actually know until you give it a try. So that saying can be said about starting a business or taking some business courses. Taking some business courses doesn't make your business more likely to succeed or fail. And on the other hand, if you don't know or understand the fundamentals of, let's say, accounting, you might have a difficult time making numbers work for your business.
That's true.
So it can go both ways. Like, and I, like, again, I said, there are advantages and disadvantages of going to college and starting your business without going to college. But I, for me, I am grateful that I did, and that I'm happy that I pursued that, and that I went to college, because it really did. It helped me a lot. Um, Before, when the when we had the dot com back in the days, it really helped me a lot with finding a job and having that career. And although I've had a change of career now, and I've, am I doing what I went to school for? I would say, yeah, I'm still doing that. I went to school for business, and like I said, it was very broad. It wasn't just one specific area. So, am I still doing it? Yes. So, any of the skills and maybe the discipline that I've gotten out of a college, it's still going to be in me, within me. So, it's a lifelong learning lesson for me.
It certainly is. And one bringing one concept here is always when you think about these two, are we in that stage where you need to look for college, or you're in college right now, or you're going to go back to college? You got to look back. What do you value? Do you value the degree as far as what you can do with it? Is in line with your purpose? Do you value starting a business because you know you can make an impact? There's something missing in the world that you know you can do something. Is in line with your value? What do you value? Can your value be a value? Can be I value people being on time. I value love. I value security. I value financial stability. What do you personally value yourself? And if it's in line with those values, then pursue it. Because once you're in line with your values, things become much more easier. Everything just flows. When you're forcing something that's not in line with your values that make you happy, time with friends or family, it's going to be harder and harder every single time. Regardless if it's a college you go to or a business you start, there will be adversity. So don't think one's easier than another. People always say in business, "Oh, it's great owning a business because you get to set your own hours." Yeah, that doesn't. That no, you don't. What you do set is the time you need to work, actual working, and then you set time for the back office work you got to do, following up on the account statements, file taxes, look at their P&L, which is profit and loss. For people that don't know that, look at how you're going to grow your business. So yes, you do have set hours you actually are working, but there's a lot of back office stuff you want to do. Same thing with college. You're gonna have to spend those 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is, going to school and getting that degree. You have to make a sacrifice, and that's what I mean. Everything has a sacrifice. There's nothing in this world you get for free. You got to give something to get something in return. That's so you can't give up. You can't get. I can't get a free degree without giving up something, or I can't get a business without giving up something. So that's the more important thing. Align your values with what you want to do with your life. Is in line with your purpose. Where do you see your future? And align that vision and your values with yourself, and everything will be much more easier. So, guys, it's a pleasure. Thanks for listening to another License Shuffle podcast. As you know, life leadership coach Ron Johnson. You always find me on social media, Ron Johnson Life Coach, Instagram, Facebook. Also, my website is www.ronbusinesscoaching.com. Let's get the Zoom calls going. Let's get some life coaching going. Let's everybody feel much more better.
And like what Ron said, your decision should align with your values. So deciding to start a business or go to college ultimately comes down to which offers more benefits in the long run for you, from which you will learn more, or is it possible to do both? Answering these questions for yourself will help you make that final decisions. And hopefully, we were able to um, help you guys with something here. Again, thank you for listening to another episode of Life's a Shuffle. This is Gloria, your life coach. You can follow me at Instagram, Gloria Life Coach, or check out my website at www.glorialifecoaching.com.